What a world. You already know what time it is. It's your favorite co-host, Podcast Pack. Back with another episode of Successful Habits. And as always, I'm here with the man with the plan himself, Coach D. Wes. What's going on with you today, Coach?
Man, not too much, man. Taking it day by day. What about you?
Man, that's it. Same old, same old. It's Sunday for us. If you're watching this episode, it's Monday for you. But today was a good Sunday. Got up, went to church, spent some time with the family, went to go get some food. It was a good Sunday, man. The weather's starting to change, so it's feeling like fall, winter out there. And what about you, man? How was your Sunday?
Man, it was pretty good. Been in the gym for most of it. I went to the gym like probably 12-ish. Uh, just getting back around 5 or 6. It's kind of that season. It's the best time of the year.
Yeah.
So most of the day I'm locked in the gym or, doing something basketball related. If not at church or anything like that, or spending time with the fam. So, it's just lock in season for me. Just kind of focused and, go oriented right now.
Most definitely, man. So before we got quite a bit of stuff to talk about today as far as basketball is concerned. It's the best time of the year, and man, it started out with a bang. But before we get into college and NBA talk, man, I know you and your guys had y'all first game this past week. Tell the world how it went, man. How did it go?
We had 2 games this past week. We
Okay.
play on Mondays and Thursdays, so we finished the week 2-0. So, that's always a plus. And we just focus on the grind right now, focus on the day to day, just getting better each and every day. Winning is a byproduct of the work you put in each and every day. So we just been kind of, just focus on the grind, just focus on, just getting better. And, those guys really bought in. They bought in and winning. They bought into a selfless mentality. So it's been great. We got our next game tomorrow night, and then we play again Thursday. So trying to go 2-0 again this week.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I seen a couple clips from the team from I want to say the first game this week, man. Y'all boys guarding 94 feet, ain't it?
Yeah, 94 feet boys, that's what they call themselves.
Yeah, that's tough. I like that, man. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear y'all off to a good start of the season. Wishing y'all nothing but successes as the season continues on. But like I say, man, we got a lot to talk about today. So without further ado, let's get into some basketball, man.
Let's do it.
Before we get into NBA topics, man, I want to talk a little bit about college because AJ DeBansta had two pretty big games this past couple weeks. As far as his college debut is concerned. But more importantly, man, your boy DP Darren Peterson, man, he had a big one too, man. Let's talk about DP. What'd you see? Was it what you expected?
Yeah, it was exactly what I expected. And if you don't know who Darren Peterson is, make sure you tap into a Kansas basketball game because you'll know soon. We talked about him early in the podcast, and he kind of set the stage of what he's gonna bring to the college world, man. Is I haven't seen a guard this complete in a minute, coming into college, especially as undersized. I think he's like 6'3", something like that. But he's just a complete guard, man. I think he's a scorer. He gets his teammates better. And he's fresh out of high school, so it's rare that you see them come in like that. And man, he can score it at a high clip. And he's efficient. I think he's gonna set the college stage on fire this year.
From what I've seen, I mean, I like his shot selection. I think that's a big thing that people don't really talk about a lot when it comes to freshmen. He takes some pretty good shots. He's a big shot taker, big shot maker. But also what I've seen too is he give a lot of effort on the defensive end, and we know defense is all about effort. So excited to see you know what kind of college matchups we got coming up, and whether it be with him and whoever else Kansas is playing or BYU games. Definitely got to catch a couple of those. No college season just getting kicked off, so we'll give it a little while before the good matchups start to roll in.
Yeah.
Anybody else you got your eyes on as far as college is concerned?
I'm more so just kind of see where the talent is spread to. I'm gonna be checking out all the other freshmen. I know Duke has some of the top freshmen as well. They have Boozer, the Boozer twins over there.
Yep,
They're gonna
yep,
be,
yep.
lottery boys. So it's just, I'm kind of tuned in everywhere, man. College basketball is at an all-time high. You know,
Mhm.
talent is kind of spread it out, and I think it's gonna be great. Like I think this basketball season is gonna be great.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think the talent, not just in college, but overall talent as far as basketball is concerned in general, I think is I don't know what happened over the summer, but I think everybody just took a crazy leap this summer.
Well, I
So
just to speak on that, I just think, like the skill is getting better. Like every
for
year the
sure,
skill is improving. So
for
like
sure,
every year the NBA is getting better, every year the college is getting better, every year high school is getting better.
for sure.
Like I think evolution of basketball itself is continuing to grow, and that's why we
I
see
agree
this
with you.
evolution.
I agree with you. So, without further ado, let's get into some NBA stuff because there was a lot of NBA basketball going on this past week. So I want to start off with this interesting stat for you. So this kind of speaks to how the talent level, the skill level has just exponentially grown over the past couple of years. So far this week, and I'm talking about from opening night was Tuesday. I made this list on Saturday. So from Tuesday to Friday, not even including the games on Saturday, there were 21 30 balls, 6 40 balls, 2 50s from SGA and Aaron Gordon. So 21 30 balls is 30 the new 20. What you think?
Points per game?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think too many people gonna average 30.
I mean, I want to say 2 years ago we had I think eight people, eight players averaging 30. Now this year it's probably gonna be close to that same number of players averaging 30.
Yeah,
Now
I think he'll
I
float
might have jumped
around
the
it.
gun. Yeah, I might have jumped the gun a little bit on the is 30 the new 20, but I definitely think 30 is the new 25, 26. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
think I
Like
think I think the people that gonna average 30 are the 8 best people in the NBA. So
for
if
sure.
if it'll continue to float around there. I don't think we'll get too many surprises that averages 30.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of scoring going on. And contrary to popular belief, people say that teams in the NBA don't really play defense. It's hard to guard these elite level scorers with all this space they got on the floor. And then on top of that, the whistles, in my opinion, man, the whistles not getting no better. We talked a little bit on the episode last week about the new high five and shooters rule and basically delayed contact after the jump shot is taken. It's a lot of that already going on. They blowing the whistle on that pretty heavy. So,
Well,
I
I
just
think
think
I
that
think good I think good offense beats good defense 8 times out of 10. You can play great defense and someone can hit a tough shot. It's just hard to guard. Like I think the effort is there in the NBA, but it's just
I
so
agree.
hard to stop NBA guys. Like it's just hard, hard in general to stop them. So it's just different.
That was my interesting stat for the week. So now let's get into actual NBA, what happened in the NBA this week recaps. So we'll start with some notable news and some injury reports. So first piece of notable news, VJ Edgecombe, your boy, had the highest scoring rookie debut since Wilt Chamberlain. VJ had 34 points. Wilt had 43 in his debut in 1959. Right now, the Pacers are down Andrew Nemhard for a couple of games due to a strained left shoulder. Also, too, Luca was just announced that he's going to be out for roughly a week or so. I know that, especially with people like Nemhard and Luca, the Pacers, and we'll talk about the Pacers a little bit. The Pacers, I mean, yes, Nemhard is a great player, but they don't seem like they missed a step with him and Halle being gone. The Lakers will play their first game tonight without Luca, so we'll see what that looks like. I mean, other news, I just touch on this real quick. I won't even talk about names or anything like that. But a few people were arrested by the FBI this week for fixing NBA games, including an active NBA player and an active head coach. But I won't get too deep into that. But it is notable news. I think that's absolutely crazy. People out here rigging games. But this is the one I actually want to talk about. Aaron Gordon was on some different type of time in this week, man. So he broke 2 records and tied 2 records in his performance against the Warriors on opening night. So he broke the franchise record for most points in a season opener with 50 points. His 50-point game was also the most efficient 50-point game in history, scoring 50 on 4 misses. He shot 17 for 21 from the field and 10 for 11 from three. Here go the crazy part. So he tied the record for most threes in a season opener with 10. Oddly enough, the previous record holder was Terry Rozier. And then he tied Clay and Ty Lawson for most consecutive threes made in a single game with 10 in a row.
Tough.
What you think about that 50 game performance? Did you happen to catch any of it?
Yeah, I think he was on the heater.
Man,
He just was on the heater. If you're a
yeah,
shooter
bro.
or you're a ball player, you would see, like if you ever play ball and you ever got in the zone, once you get in that zone, man, it's just like that basketball goal starts to expand and then you feel like you can't miss. And I think he just went into the zone, man, and he just was on the heater.
Most definitely, man. That was a crazy game from Aaron Gordon, man. I honestly I watched the whole game. I don't even remember seeing him miss them 4 shots that they say he missed, but He definitely was on one. He started early. I think he made 10 threes. I think 7 or 8 of them came in the first half. So yeah, he was definitely on the heater. Last piece of notable news is the Thunder also set an interesting record this week. They were the first team in league history to go to 2 overtimes in their first 2 games. I will say, and we'll talk about those first 2 games here in a second, where they played the Rockets and then they played the Pacers. I'll say this: the Rock, the Thunder were really tested in their first 2 games this season, matching up with the Rockets and then matching up with the Pacers. For me, seeing them play the Rockets, it was it it showed me that they were still hungry, and then I'm seeing them play the Pacers showed me that it wasn't a fluke. So, I'll get your thoughts on that OKC Rockets and OKC Pacers matchup here in a second. But as far as notable news and injuries from this past week, that's pretty much it. So move on to the next topic. Notable matchups from the week, from this past week. So we had OKC versus the Rockets, and we'll talk about that one in a second. We had Lakers versus the Warriors, and also Lakers versus the Timberwolves, and we'll talk about that Lakers matchup here in a second as well. But the Warriors also played the Nuggets. The Warriors played the Nuggets. Warriors pulled it off in the end, 137 to 131 in overtime. Did anything stand out to you about that matchup other than Aaron Gordon's 50 ball?
I like what the Warriors are doing.
Mhm.
And, people was making fun of the Warriors, the age and signing Al Horford, but Al Horford held Joker pretty much in check. And, he made it rough on him. And, Joker shot a low percentage on Al Horford. And that's what I was saying kind of before the year started. I know a lot of people, they made fun of Al Horford is not a big name and he's older,
Right.
right? But he does the things that fit into the Warriors system, which is why I was high on them before the season started. Because I thought that was a good pickup for him because he still defends, he plays hard, and he gives Draymond that relief at the 5 spot that I think he needed and that team needed. So I love what the Warriors are doing.
Yeah, for sure. I think some things that stood out to me is, you once upon a time in our group chat, you had mentioned that Draymond Green is a huge piece of Stephen Curry's success. You even posed the question, would Curry be Curry without Draymond? Originally, I was of the mind that Curry was gonna be Curry regardless, which yeah, to an extent he probably would have. But I think the later we get into Curry and Draymond's career, it gets clearer and clearer that Draymond is a big reason why Stephen Curry is always open. Like he always open, he always getting the ball in the perfect time in his perfect spots. Just watching that offense move it's a beautiful thing to watch, bro. Especially opening week. They had a couple of games and every game I seen from them so far, the offense was so fluid, man. That Warriors basketball, that's some beautiful basketball. Some things I noticed about the Nuggets as far as they're concerned. I mean, Joker gonna be Joker. I think that they're still trying to figure out rotations as far as like people like Bruce Brown and a couple of other pieces that they were playing later on in the playoffs last year. But it's super early in the season. I mean, that was a good matchup, I think, as far as I will say this too. I love how the Warriors play against the Nuggets. Like when they play the Nuggets, and I don't know why more teams don't take as much advantage of it as the Warriors, but when the Warriors play the Nuggets, they put Jokic in so much action whenever the Nuggets is on defense, bro. They put Jokic in so much action. I just be seeing him spinning around in circles out there. He trying to guard screens and slips, and it's beautiful basketball, bro. What you think about the way that the Warriors attack Jokic whenever they play each other?
Well, the Warriors benefit from their best player on the team is in tremendous shape, so they can run
Yeah,
him everywhere. A lot of teams don't
yeah,
benefit
facts.
from that. Like I don't think Steph Curry gets enough credit for his offseason work, his condition that he puts into the game behind closed doors. Because I think they did a average one game. He ran like 8 to 10 miles, something like that.
That's crazy, bro.
Crazy. Crazy, and he's always moving, he's always running, so when your best player and he so happens to be the best shooter ever, when he can run off so many screens and down screens and pin downs and do stuff like that, like, your offense is able to be creative, so they benefit from, their superstar being committed to that.
Most definitely. The next matchup, notable matchup from last week was for me was the Knicks versus the Celtics. The Knicks won 105 to 95. How we feeling about them Celtics, man? Talk to me. They lost today to Detroit, making them 0-3, but talk to me. How we feeling about 'em?
Mm, not good because they're having trouble closing games. They had the lead against 76ers. They was up 13 with 9 minutes left and blew that one. And they lost the lead to the Knicks, which is the Knicks is going to be contenders. So
Mhm.
the only thing that kind of keeps me alive is they lost the teams that should finish top five, top six in the West, so they'll be floating right in after that. But it's still early in the season. I don't like the fact that they having trouble closing right now.
Yeah.
I would think JB would be a little more aggressive. It's kind of like he just doesn't want to, like, I'm not gonna say force, but it's kind of like he just doesn't want to try to take the game over. He kind of playing. I'm not gonna say relax, but he's playing the same as if Tatum was on the court, rather
Yeah,
than
I
him
agree.
being not there. So I would have thought that he would have been a little more aggressive. Sometimes it requires you to take 22, 23 shots a night, but he's
Yeah.
kind of floating around 12 to 15. So I would think he would have been a little more aggressive, but it's early, 3 games into the season. You played all contenders so far, Eastern Conference Finals contenders so far. So, I'm not gonna give up on them just yet. I think they can figure it out, and I think they will as the season goes on.
Yeah, they definitely had a very difficult first 3 games, I give them that, especially against, like I say, people like Detroit, Knicks, those are some pretty competitive games, so I agree with you on that. For me, when I'm watching the Celtics, like I said before, I don't know if I said it on the pod or I said it to you in person, but, this season gonna tell me a lot about Joe Mazzulla because you don't really got the personnel to let them 3 fly like you've been letting them fly. So it's gonna require you to scheme up some better looks for your guys. Right now, I think Derek White is probably averaging like like less than 5 2-point attempts a game. So they still letting threes fly as if, like you say, as if the roster never changed. Which I mean, we'll see how it plays out. Because once upon a time, we said the same thing that you can't win like that, but they proved us wrong once before. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. As far as the Knicks, how you feeling about the Knicks? Me personally, man, I love this new look Knicks team, man. It's the same, essentially the same core, but I think Mike Brown doing a great job. From what I've seen so far, they got that same intensity on the defensive end, but they playing with a much faster pace now. They getting the ball out in transition. They're gonna thrive in half court because they got Jalen Brunson, but they moving now. They moving the ball up and down the court fast. I love to watch that Knicks basketball. What you like about them? How you feel
Yeah,
about them?
I think the Knicks have a great a superstar, and they have a great supporting cast around them. So I think um I think the Knicks gonna be here to stay. They're gonna be floating around the East Conference Finals as well. I look forward to watching them progress as the season goes on.
For sure.
Jalen Brown had 40 today if you're watching this against the Pistons, but
That's tough. Okay.
I would have thought he would have came out like that. That's what I meant
Yeah. Yeah.
at the first couple games, because he would have had that against the 76ers, they win, and
They
against the
would have
Knicks,
won,
they
yeah.
probably come in, 1 or 2 possessions away. So yeah, but
Because Maxey definitely came to play. Maxey had a 40
yeah,
ball that game, so,
Max and BJ
yeah.
had both had 30 piece.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Embiid's on a heavy minute restriction right now. They got him on a strict 20 minutes per game restriction, so whatever they gonna do in the East, they better figure it out before that boy get himself together. Um, but cool, that's Knicks versus Celtics. The next notable matchup for the week for me anyways is Spurs versus the Pelicans. Spurs won, we won 120 to 116 in overtime. I think that this was a great matchup for 2 young teams. Talk to me what were some notable things about this game.
Wendy.
That boy crazy. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that boy
Yeah,
is crazy,
yeah,
man.
Wimby different. But outside of that, I mean, that's pretty obvious. Like Wimby, he's different. But I like Zion, man. I think if Zion can stay healthy, man, I think he can, lead that team to a play-in spot in the West, and probably make some noise. But man, Zion is good. He just had to stay healthy. And I like Trey Murphy. I love Trey Murphy.
Yeah,
Trey
Trey
Murphy
Murphy's solid.
is good. Yeah. And I mean, I like that young team. So if they can stay healthy, man, I think they can, they could probably do something in the play-in.
I really like what I see from Jeremiah Fields right now, bro. I really like what I see from that young man. I think that he's in a really good position with the Pelicans. He's so far he's playing a lot more minutes than I expected him to play, which is a good sign because he definitely is producing, with those minutes. But I like what I see from Jeremiah Fears so far. Derek Queen has some pretty good games this week too. But I think that stuff that stood out to me, I mean, Zion dunked on my boy first play of the game. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you. I love what I'm seeing from Zion. If he can stay healthy, I think that he gonna be exactly what people exactly what we expected him to be. You know, there's something it's something about the league this year. I think everybody is becoming for me, it seemed like a lot of people are becoming who we thought that they were gonna be. So Zion is one of those people. Like I say, he dunked on Wemby first play of the game, but can't hold that against Wemby, man. He had 9 blocks. You can't hold the one block that he missed against him. You know what I'm saying? The man
Yeah, I
had
mean, getting dunked on, that just come with being a shot blocker. You
yeah,
gonna
for
get
sure,
caught, like
for
that
sure.
just come with being a
But
shot blocker.
a triple double, almost a triple double with blocks is crazy. And we'll talk about MVP candidates a little bit later on in the episode. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Man, the NBA in trouble, bro. The NBA is in trouble. One thing I love about Wemby this season more than last season is last season he averaged 9 3-point attempts a game. This season so far he averaging like 2.5. I think they had an interesting stat. I forgot whose pod it was on. It was either 520 or Gills Arena. But anyway, Wemby had out of all the games he played last season, he only had one game last season where he shot less than 3 3-pointers, bro. One game last season. So far this season, he's starting off, asserting his will. He dominating. Get the lead, and then you could put on the show that you want to put on. Today they played the Nets today. Cam Johnson went off. The Spurs ended up coming out with a win, but he had to end the first half. He had 2 blocks in one possession, get the rebound, walk the ball up the court to a timeline 3-point to close out the first half. 7-6. I mean, what? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do, bro? What
Nothing.
can you do? And you know what? Honestly, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Dylan Harper. You got a chance to watch some Dylan Harper this season so
Mhm.
far? That boy is a hooper. That boy got some game. What I love about him too is he play with good pace. He always looking for Wemby first. He'll get the ball to the open man. Love what I'm seeing from Dylan Harper. Today he had 20 points, 6 boards, 8 assists against the Nets. Honestly, man, and we'll talk about rookie of the year a little bit later on in the episode as well. But honestly, man, we might be able to get us a third rookie of the year in a row, man. He keep these kind of numbers up, bro. What you like about Dylan Harper and Jeremiah Fears?
I like Dennis Harper's pace. I like the pace that he plays with. I like it how under control he is. He has good strength. To be able to hold the defender off, can knock down the shot if you sag, finish at the rim. Great IQ. I think he's just a typical great point guard, and he has a bright future in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. Next game on the list is Clippers versus Jazz. That was the Clippers' first game, opening night game for them. The Clippers lost 123 to 108. I ain't watched the game honestly, but the box score was very concerning. So for a team who supposedly prides themselves on defense, the Clippers let 3 people score 20 on them. For the Jazz, Art Markkinen, Walker Kessler, and Bryce Sensabaugh.
Mhm.
If they ain't bounced back against the Suns, I would be really concerned. But to be honest, I'm still a bit concerned because the Suns really ain't got a lot going on over there right now. But how you feel about the Clippers?
I just I just want to see him stay healthy. I just want to see the Clippers stay healthy. I'm not too concerned about them just yet. I just want to see because they do have some new pieces that they got to kind of incorporate, like Bill and Lopez. So it's gonna be one of those things where they'll get hot during the middle of the year. I just want to see them remain healthy, continue to build their chemistry, and just continue to build.
Yeah, I definitely think the Clippers are, especially with the roster that they have, they're a late season kind of team. Especially if they can make the playoffs, they gonna give people problems because they just vets. You know what I mean? They know how to win. It's early, so they can't judge them too bad. I just think that for them to lose so bad to the Jazz, it just was concerning. We'll see how they can put it together going forward. I was just talking to Nick earlier today, and I was telling him like the thing about them is they got so many microwave players, bro. They
Yeah.
got 3 people on their team that can snap for 40 on any given night.
Mhm.
So I think that that makes them dangerous at any given time. But that's the Clippers versus the Jazz. So let's circle back to the Lakers matchups from this week. So the Lakers played the Warriors and they played the Timberwolves. Talk to me about what you see from these Lakers.
I think with the way they're going, man, Luca's on track like I thought. He gonna be in the MVP discussion. He's kind of just willing them. I think the Lakers defend better than they did last year. Like I like the Luca and Austin Reeves. I like their kind of 1-2 punch. When LeBron gets back, I'm curious to see where he'll fit in there. I think JJ Redick's doing a good
That's
job, and I
crazy.
think they continue to get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, trying to see where LeBron James will fit in is a crazy statement. But I know what you mean. But it's
Yeah,
crazy to say about LeBron James. You know what I mean? But
yeah. I'm just well,
I think
Luca he's a high usage rate superstar.
you
Like
gotta let him. You gotta let him do his thing.
yeah,
Yeah, you gotta let him have the ball, man.
he'll have the ball most of the shot clock on most possessions. So it's kind of like I just want to see, in this point in LeBron's career, he's kind of more so off the ball anyway, so it won't affect him that
Agreed.
much.
Agreed.
But I'm just trying to see like where would JJ Redick what would JJ Redick put him? Would he put him in that spot that Anthony Davis was in the high zoom spot where he could turn around and be a playmaker off the handoff? Or would he put him in the corner and be a spot up shooter? Or, just curious to see how he
Yeah.
would use LeBron in their schemes.
Yeah. The Lakers are playing way better defense than I thought that they was gonna be able to play. So
Hmm.
I love that about it. I love Skinny Luca. Skinny Luca, that boy is man. Listen, it's the way he controls the court, bro. Is so different. Like I just being his basketball IQ is just so crazy, and his talent is next level. Like you gotta send two at him, man. And when you send two, he's gonna make the right pass, and the ball is gonna get there. And when it gets there, it's just whether or not they're gonna make the shot. He's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna throw you a dot. It's coming. Period. I think one thing that stood out to me about them so far early this season is Aiden. I think Aiden, for me, it looked like Aiden's still trying to figure out how to play with somebody like Luca. All you need to do is just get in that pick and roll, bro. If you and Luca can get on the same page in the pick and roll, you easy 15 and 10 a night, easy 16, 17 and 10 a night, easy. Bro. I'm so curious to see what that looks like going forward. I know that especially against the Warrior, well, honestly against the Warriors and the Timberwolves, Luca really was picking them apart. Anthony Edwards and Luca had a shootout the other night. Luca just man, he a tough cover, man. But that's the Lakers couple of games. Let's talk about these Thunder, man. OKC versus the Pacers. OKC closed it out 141 and 135 in double overtime. Finals rematch. What's your thoughts about
I
both
think
teams?
I think the Thunders they look pretty good. They're that same team who I thought they were gonna be. I knew the Pacers were gonna get up for that game because of the human aspect of it. It's the finals rematch. I know they're, kind of injured right now, but still, I knew they were gonna get up to play because it's the finals rematch. The emotions are still there. Like they're gonna come to play. If they just and this what proves my point. They go in and play OKC like that, and then they lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, who just got punished by the Heat. So it's kind of like they let down spot because they're gonna come to play for that OKC game just because it's a finals rematch. So I expected that fire that they came out with. They just keep coming. They just keep defending. They just keep fighting. They're gonna claw their way back in the games. So I like that Pacers team. I like that Pacers coach. I think they're well run. And as they continue to get better throughout the season, I'm curious how they will try to fill that void and handle it. Being out, I know Nimhard will kind of take a step when he returns from injury. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Siakam. So the role players will have to grow a little bit. I know it's gonna be hard for them to make another finals run, but as far as competing every single night, I like them.
I think they're gonna give people problems in the Eastern Conference playoffs for sure. I definitely think that they could, based on what I've seen so far, they have a lot of talent. Cause I think Ben Matherin is in the process of taking a leap. I think if you can keep up this production for the rest of the year, you can. If you get consistency from Siakam, Nimhard come back, things like that. I think that I think that the Pacers can definitely finish. I think they can steal that 6 seed from that Celtics team that we were talking about.
Yeah.
But that's the Pacers. Talk to me about OKC, man. What'd you see from them in their first 2 games against, the Rockets and the Pacers? What'd you like about it?
I like that they keep coming. They don't quit no
Mhm.
matter because the Rockets went on a run and looked like they were gonna pull away, but they just kept coming and Shea just continued
Mhm.
to prove why he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
That
for
that
sure.
man is that man is good. That man is one of the best top 3 players in this world right now. Just the way he controls the game, the way he gets to his spots is very hard to contain him. And the Thunder just defend, man. The Thunder
Yeah,
defend.
bro.
They defend as a team. Chet is a great rim protector. Lou Dort and Casey Wallace, they harass ball handlers at the top, man. They're a well-run team, and I think they'll continue to get better throughout the season. That's crazy to say, but I think their role players will continue to step up, especially with no J-Dub. I think Aaron Wiggins will step up. I think Casey Wallace will continue to grow. I think those 3 and D guys will continue to make leaps, and Shea will just continue to be what he's been since he made this move to OKC, one of the best guards in the world.
Yeah. I think, in my opinion, SGA is the best closer in the world right now, bro. You get him the ball, in the clutch, he gonna put the ball in the bucket, whether it be from an actual made field goal or he getting to the line, knocking down some free throws. On that subject, what do you have to say to the people who think that, because he shot 26 free throws the other night, against the Pacers, I think? He shot 26 free throws. And what do you have to say to the people who feel like, so I put it to you like this. Me personally, I don't have a problem with Shea shooting 26 free throws because he got fouled quite a bit. My problem is they blow the whistle for him, but Lou Dort is beating people up on the other end, bro. Like he really is like playing UFC on the other end, bro. Talk to me about that. Like, how you feel about that?
I mean, I think Lou Doris gets physical off the ball, but when it comes to, and like people say that about free throws, but I mean, if somebody is with the ball going up getting fouled, I mean, what do you do? All superstars shoot the same. The only person that you kind of can complain about free throws is Steph Curry. That's the only one that you can complain about he don't shoot enough free throws. Every other superstars, they shoot free throws like Greek, Jalen Brunson, all of these superstars, they shoot free throws. Why? Because it's hard to defend them. Like the way they can use their body, the way they manipulate you to jump, just different things like that. And Shea, he has a little Dwayne Wade in his game. He likes to get you in the air and get under you, does things like that, creative things like that. And when you're a scorer that averages 30 plus points, you're going to get free throws. You're not going to get
Yeah,
every
for sure.
single bucket from the field. You're going to need free throws. So it's like, I mean, I understand. I guess some foul calls are controversial. You can go back and forth, but I mean, 6 times out of 10, he's getting fouled.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, for me, it ain't Shea. I don't think it's for me personally. He's getting fouled. He should be shooting free throws. I think the issue for me is it's not even really an issue. I think the thing for me is Giannis gets free throws. Well, I'll give you a better example. Ant Man is a good example. Ant Man gets to the free throw line. He get the same whistle as SGA in general, unless he playing against SGA. When they play each other, SGA get way more whistles and it's like Lou Dort just get to go out there and do whatever he want to do to whoever he want to do it to. I think that definitely needs to get a little bit better as far as making evening out the calls. Like if I don't really care, I don't mind that SGA shoots a lot of free throw because he has high usage rate and he's getting fouled, bro. It's not like he's not getting fouled. He's getting fouled for the most part. But that's my thoughts on that. You know what I mean? As far as OKC and the Pacers are concerned. And then we'll talk a little bit more about that OKC Rockets matchup, but more specific from the Rockets perspective here in a second. Did any other matchups stand out to you this week?
Nah, I think we kinda covered them all. I think we kinda covered them all.
So next segment, I want to talk about game of the week. So out of all the basketball that was played this week, who you giving your game of the week to and why?
That's a tough one. Game of the week, I would have to go with that Warriors and Nuggets game.
Okay. Okay.
I'll go with that game just cause, man, it was just a fun back and forth game, with a lot of scoring. Aaron Gordon got hot, Jamal Murray put on a show, Joker did his thing with his triple double, and Curry just, man, that's my favorite player to watch is Stephen Curry.
Yeah, for sure.
and he just willed them to a win, man. He just hit some crazy shots. He it's hard to make a case that he's not one of the best in the world still. And he
for
just,
sure.
he's the best shooter ever, and it's exciting to watch him work. So my game of the week goes to the Warriors and Nuggets for sure.
I like that pick. While we on the subject of the Warriors, before we move on to my game of the week pick, I gotta give a shout out to Jonathan Kuminga, man. You know, there was a lot of controversy around him last season and then all summer. You know, they ended up agreeing on a number as far as re-signing him. And so, you know, he looked like he ready to play some basketball now, man. He's starting to buy into the to that Warriors system. He's starting to buy into the player that he actually, you know, the archetype that he's made to be. I think he's starting to come into himself as far as his identity is concerned. He's been playing some pretty good basketball this week. So shout out to Jonathan Kuminga. My game of the week would be the Thunder and Pacers finals rematch. Went to double overtime. It was a great test of, like I say, not only how hungry the Thunder still are, but honestly how deep that Pacers team really was. They got that next man up mentality. I love that about them. Like you say, they got up to play the Thunder. No Hadley, Nemhard exited the game early. They still went to the double overtime. So I got to get at my game of the week, especially because of the finals rematch. Like I said earlier, OKC versus the Rockets showed me that OKC was still hungry, but OKC versus the Pacers showed me that it wasn't no fluke, bro. This OKC team is really good. This Pacers team is gonna continue to be really good as long as they keep that next man up mentality. But that was game of the week. So now let's get into MVP ladder and the rookie heat check, man. So let's get into the fun stuff. So as a recap, last week's episode we gave way too early predictions for NBA awards, most notably the MVP. Coach West picks were Luca and Jalen Brown as a sleeper pick. Keep in mind sleeper pick. My picks were Jokic and Ant Man. So before we get into the conversation of MVP ladder, are we allowing any changes after week one?
Talking about the
Can I
picks?
change? Can I change? Yeah, can I change? Can I change my picks?
Nah, you can't change. You gotta stand beside him.
Okay. Okay, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. So let's talk about your picks. Luca and Jalen Brown. How you think your picks are going so looking so far as MVP ladder?
My Luka pick is looking really good. That's if you didn't tune into the last episode, make sure you tune in. We gave a regular MVP, like Peg said, and we gave like a sleeper, a long shot, someone who's not, no one's expecting to win. So Luka was my MVP. He's looking great right now. When I gave the Luka pick, I said it would be based on the Lakers win percentage, like how much they can win. So that still the stands. If they can win 50 plus games at this clip, I like my chances with Luca because he impacts their winning so much, and where he averaging 40 right now. So he's doing his thing and he makes that team go. So my Luca pick is looking really good. Now my long shot pick was Jalen Brown. That's not looking really good. One, because they're not winning right now, of course. And two, well, I would just like to see him be a little more aggressive like he did. He came out today with something on his mind. He had 40 piece today. That's kind of what I've been expecting. So if he can continue to do that, well, I don't know how much they'll win, but if he can continue to do that and they can sneak into the 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there, then he'll be on the board somewhere. So that's a win for me. So that would be my two picks. So
Okay, cool. As far as my two picks are concerned, Jokic and Ant Man. I mean, Ant Man was my quote unquote sleeper pick. Jokic is not looking like the normal Jokic we used to seeing. But Jokic is Jokic. I think as the season continues to progress, you're gonna see a lot more 40-point triple doubles from him, 35-point triple doubles from him. So just a matter of time. As of right now, he's looking pretty normal right now. Jokic normal, like not regular people normal. He's looking pretty Jokic normal right now. As far as Ant Man is concerned, he's also a hot start this season. I think he's averaging right around 30 points per game. I know he had a 40 ball already. So he's looking really, really good. I'm excited to see more of Ant Man and Jokic. So as far as the MVP ladder, give me your top five in the MVP race after week one.
all right, right now I have Wimby at 1. I have Luca at 2.
Mm,
I have Greek at 3. I have Anthony Edwards at 4, and I'm sorry, but I had to do it. I have Stephen Curry at 5.
I ain't mad at that list. That's a really good list. I think Wemby, man, listen, man, that man can mess around and be DPOY MVP this year, man. Especially, I mean, we 3-0 right now to start the season. If we can finish the season, if we finish the season, what's the record? What does our seeding need to be for him to be MVP and DPOY, bro?
Man, if he
DPOY, he
continue
gonna get it.
if he continue to do what he doing, if they can finish top 4, he'll get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
he'll
agree
get it.
with you. Yeah, I agree with you. That Curry, as fifth in the MVP ladder, love that. I mean, I mean, the chef gonna chef, man. You know, Curry gonna Curry, bro. It's like you say, he continues to be one of the best players in the world. Well, I was surprised that Luca was not one. Why is Luca not one on your list after
Just
the
because the
performances
impact
he's
that
had so
Wemby
far?
have on both ends, like, he had a game with 9 blocks, you know what I mean? So, it's kinda like he just get the
He had
nod.
6 today.
Yeah, like, it's just what he's doing right now is just crazy, so
Mhm.
I just had to go, Wemby, and then they're 3-0, so they rolling right now, so
Yeah.
as of right now, it's early in the season, I will give Wemby the nod for MVP, and I will give, Luka that 2 spot, but I love what Greek is doing at 3, Anthony Edwards at 4, like you said, that was
Oh,
your
yeah.
sleeper pick, and he's looking really good, they continue to climb, and, got that Steph Curry at 5.
Yeah, Greek already had a 30-point, 20-rebound game. I mean, what can you do with this guy, bro? I mean, this is the era of one of a kind players, I think, bro. Like Greek, the type of intensity that he plays with, bro, it's so like it's rare to see that kind of intensity, you know. So I love watching Greek Freak play. I think that they just need a couple more pieces around him. I mean, and honestly, Cole Anthony was a great pickup for them. Cole Anthony looked real good over there in Milwaukee.
Mm.
But that's the MVP ladder. We also gave our way 2 early picks for Rookie of the Year. Coach West picked Cooper Flag and VJ. I picked Ace Bailey and Con Knipple. So can I change my Rookie of the Year picks? Or I can't change them neither.
They can't change.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say this. If I was to change my Rookie of the Year picks, I wouldn't change Ace Bailey. I think he just off to a slow start so far, but I would change Con Knipple, and Imma slide Dylan Harper in there. I would slide
Okay.
Dylan Harper in there. I think Dylan Harper got a chance to sneak in there and be our 3rd Rookie of the Year in a row. But as far as your picks are concerned, so between Coop and VJ, talk to me what you like. What would you see?
Cooper, he was out to a slow start the first game. If you watch the game and not the box score, you would see that he kind of played better than the box score indicated. He didn't shoot it well, but he
Mhm.
kind of, was getting his feet wet. So he looked good in doing that, but he did bounce back after the next game with 18, 6, and 6. So I think he's gonna be right there. I think he's gonna be right there. I don't think VJ will average 30 or anything like that. He will come back down a little bit, but I think he will be a dynamic guard. So I think they'll be neck and neck, and either one of those win. That was my 2 picks, so that's fine with me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. They both had really good first weeks. VJ, I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game, young man, but I'm sold on him now. Like Nino say, the generator. I'm
Hmm.
sold on VJ. I think Coop. I just don't like him at PG. I don't like him as a primary ball handler. I think you take away the best part of his game when you don't allow him to just roam around. I think if Kyrie can come back after Christmas, then I think that he'll be in a much better position. My 2 picks were Ace and Con. Like I said, Ace had a really slow start so far to the season, to the regular season. Con Nibbles has been putting up some decent numbers though. I mean, obviously he's on Charlotte, so it's gonna be real difficult for him to get any type of spotlight over there. Because with people like Lamelo and Miles Bridges, they soak up a lot of that spotlight. But he does a lot of little intangible things, so he's not doing bad. But I would definitely probably take Dylan Harper over him. But as far as top 5 in your Rookie of the Year race, Rookie Heat check. Talk to me. Give me a list.
All right, here's my rookie ladder. All right. So I got VJ at 1 after that great performance. I have Cooper at 2. I have Jeremiah Fears at 3. Now this one right here is gonna kinda surprise you. I have Cedric Coward at 4. All right. Now, if you don't know who that is, he's a rookie from Memphis, from Washington State. And he went 6 for 6 from three last game, 27 points. But it was the way that he scored that kind of took me by surprise. He's a big athletic guard slash wing. And he looks real good in that system. And I think John Moran will continue to make him better. I think he will continue to grow. And I think they got a hidden gem in the draft. So give me Cedric Coward at 4. And my fifth spot goes to Trey Johnson. All right. And I have Dylan Harper at 6, but
I
Johnson,
was waiting for Trey Johnson to come. Yeah,
Trey Johnson just
he
continues to
looked
do what
good.
I said, what I thought he would do, and that's just take and make big, tough shots. That's what
Yep,
he is. That's the
yep,
guard that
yep.
he is. They know what they drafted. They drafted a shot maker, and that's exactly what he is. And I think he will continue to do that throughout the season.
Watching him so far, he kind of put me in the mind of like Cade a little bit, like the pacing wise. You know what I mean? He got a nice pace to his game. He got that like that too cool kind of attitude about himself. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, but like as far as like the way he plays and pacing wise. But that's a good five. I like that five as far as the rookie ladder is concerned. So before we move on to the last segment of the show for today, am I wilding for saying that this the best draft class since 2003?
I
As
definitely think
far
you can make an argument.
in terms of the production that you getting from these guys in a rookie year, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely an argument you can make. But 3 games in, you got to give them a little more to see if they can sustain the success that they had earlier. But there's definitely an
Okay,
argument
I
that
ain't
you can
mad at
make.
that.
But hold on, before we move, you got to get your top 5.
My top five right now. Okay, let me see. My top five right now. I would give VJ one because of the performance his first night. I would put. Honestly, I would probably slide Dylan Harper at 2. Dylan Harper's been solid, like extremely solid. Like I say, today he had 20.6 rebound, 8 assists. I think he's currently averaging around 14 points per game so far. So I would probably slide Dylan Harper in there at 2. I would probably slide Trey Johnson in there at 3. I would slide Coop in there at 4, just because when we talk about rookie of the year, we know it. We know it's gonna come down to numbers, and Coop don't have those yet. But if we talking contribution to the game, Coop is definitely my number 2 or 3. I still got Dylan Harper floating up there. But I would put Coop at 4 for all intents and purposes of this list. And at 5, I put Jeremiah Fears. I haven't had a chance to watch the boy from Memphis play, so that's why he's not in my list. But I would put Jeremiah Fears at 5 because I love what I'm seeing from him so far, especially on that Pelicans team. So that's
What
my
about your
rookie
MVP?
ladder.
What about your
My MVP, my MVP right now, I'm putting Wemby number 1 for sure, for sure. For all the reasons that you listed. I'm putting Luca number 2 because Luca cannot be stopped. And I'm putting Greek Freak at number 3 for the exact same reason that you said. My number 4, you know what? Honestly, I think my list would probably be exact same as yours. Actually, let me check something. Yeah, my list would be the exact same as yours for all of the same
MVP?
reason, though. I think that my number 6 will probably be my number 6. Honestly, would probably be Zach LaVine, bro. Have you seen Zach LaVine this season?
Yeah,
230 balls to open the season up.
yeah, he's been looking good. How much are they gonna win though?
They ain't doing bad so far. I mean, it's early though after week
They're
1.
in
You
the
know what I mean?
West,
So we'll
so
see.
it's gonna be tough. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It
so
is
you had
difficult.
Dylan Harper at 2. What if I told you him and Cooper average the same amount of points? Cooper averaged 3 more rebounds, averaging 7. Cooper averaged more assists with 3. He averaged 2.5. Cooper shoot a better field goal from 3-point at 33. He shoots 28.
That's a good comp. That's a good comp. Dylan Harper is also on a much more limited. I ain't gonna say he doesn't. Yeah, he's a much more limited role. Like, Coop has the freedom to more or less do what he want to do when he's on the court. Dylan Harper still got to answer to Wemby. I didn't know that their numbers were that similar. But he personally, I would still give it to Dylan Harper just because of what he's able to do with such a limited role.
Got
But in terms of impact to the game, give me Coop for sure, for sure. Give me Coop. But yeah, so that's our MVP ladder and rookie heat check. So last segment before we let y'all go, I don't want to take up too much of y'all time on this good Monday. Hopefully you made it this far into the episode because this is where things are going to get really, really good. I want to get into front office mode. So I want to do this a couple of times a month where we get into front office mode throughout the season, and we, especially as teams start to get rolling, I want to incorporate a segment where you get into GM slash head coach mode, and we really get into some things that teams need to do to be better. All right. So the team we're going to start off with today is going to be the Houston Rockets. So obviously they matched up with OKC first night. The defense looked exactly how we thought it would. The offense looked nothing like we thought it would. When the same thing happened in the Rockets' second matchup. Uh, and so yeah, talk to me about the Rockets, man. What do they need to do in the front office or on the bench to make these guys, make them look the way we thought they was gonna look?
I just think they continue need to develop their point guard spot. I think you can get minutes out of Reed Shepard, but he has to be able to defend. He struggled to defend, especially against OKC. They were kind of targeting him. So you have to be able to defend, especially at the point guard spot. Thompson, the Thompson twin, he's kind of transitioning to that point guard spot. He wasn't the one coming in, he was kind of off the ball, and that's a hard position to transition to. I don't think it's too early to panic, but if he's gonna play that spot, he has to be able to at least stretch the floor a little bit, maybe because they're gonna go under his ball screens and things like that. So you have to be able to make him respectable. Make the jump shot respectable. So I'm not gonna say it's too late. To sign or trade or look. But if you can't see any progress within Reed Shepard as far as defending, or you don't think Thompson is going to make that jump, you have to kind of go get somebody before the transfer deadline gets here because you're in a win now mode. You only have KD. He's on the bottom side of his career as far as age wise. So you're kind of in win now mode. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of go, get somebody during the trade deadline, and it doesn't even have to be a superstar or anything like that. Just someone who can kind of hold it down, or like a D'Angelo Russell, or somebody like that who can kind of run the show, facilitate, stretch it, just make the game easier for Kevin Durant because you definitely don't want him to have to orchestrate the offense and score. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Houston.
So as far as so let's assume that for the foreseeable future they don't plan on making any moves. What would you do as are there any schemes or anything you can incorporate or maybe some different rotations that you would want to see from the Rockets to make them look a little bit more, especially offensively, look a little bit more fluid? Because I ain't gonna lie, bro, watching them, especially in the first two games, watching them is like there'll be times where Kevin Durant finally get free from whoever's defending him, and he get to his normal midi pull ups, and it's three red jerseys already in the paint. I mean, you got Adams going for offensive boards, you got Twin going for offensive boards, and then Alperen Sengun, typically whenever he initiates the offense is from the free throw line. So it looks really clogged up right now. Is there anything that you would change as far as schemes or maybe rotations, lineups to
Yeah,
to
that was
kind
the next
of
thing I was gonna
solve that
say.
issue?
That's the next thing I was gonna say as far as the spacing. Now the big lineup is good defensively, but I don't think it works offensively. So I don't like the Sengun at the four. That's just me personally. I would put him back at the five, put Kevin Durant or Jabari back at the four, just to kind of get the spacing and stretching right, and kind of just let Kevin Durant orchestrate the offense past half court, like as far as Sengun with the DHOs, put him in DHOs action, and just kind of let Kevin Durant be a scorer slash playmaker after you cross half court to kind of take some load off Twin. But I would definitely go back to the Sengun at the five.
Yeah. So what would that lineup be then? You would
It
you would
would
put
be
who at the one?
it would be Thompson at the one. Thompson at the one. Now the two spot would be kind of tricky. Honestly, I would probably go Reed at the one. Honestly, even if he struggles defensively, I,
Even if he's had some rough, yeah, he's had some rough couple of games
yeah, he's had
on
some
both
rough
ends
couple
of
of
the floor,
games.
honestly.
Yeah, he's had some rough couple of games, but honestly, I just think that He can stretch it for you. So maybe you can kind of develop him as the season go on. It's not gonna be perfect. You're gonna, it's gonna be speed bumps, but I probably would go Reed at the one, Thompson at the two, Kevin Durant three, Jabari four, and Sengun at the five.
Okay. And then rotate would you we rotating Adams in for Alpy. Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that. I like that. See, I think one of the biggest problems that I've seen so far is Twin and Adams play too many minutes together, and and neither one of them can stretch it. So it just the spacing is just really 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 bad right now.
Yeah.
So I think that that would probably be a big change for me. But as far as is there anything else that you think that that would help them become the team that we had the hopes that they would become?
Just continue to develop the point guard spot. Because if I think you had a point guard like Fred,
Yeah.
just think about this lineup.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to go big, and you take Jabari Smith out. Let's say you wanted to go Fred, Twin, Kevin Durant, Alpi, and Adams. Now you only have one person who can't stretch because Fred will be able to stretch it. So it'll work, right? With that defensive minded lineup, it'll work. But with no Fred, it kind of took a step back, so that kind of hurt him. But I think, man, you just have to continue to pour into Reed because at the end of the day, you spent the first round pick on him. You spent the high pick
For
on him,
sure.
so
They
you
need
have
him
to
to
shout
be
him.
they need him to
Yeah,
be the player. Yeah, they need him to be the player that they drafted for sure.
yeah. You just have to kind of pour into him and just see, what he can turn into defensively.
Yeah, because defensively, like you say, people were just going right around him. And I don't think it was an effort thing. I think that he just need to get. I mean, I don't know.
He just
It was
has
a
to
little
get
bit of
better on
both.
that end
Sometimes you
for
can
sure.
see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But okay, cool. So that's the Rockets, and like I say, man, I want to do this segment at least once a month, to where we get your thoughts and ideas on front office things and head coach things. What would you do if you were in Ime's situation? But I think this was a really good episode as far as basketball, man. Before we let the people go, the NBA Cup starts on Friday, so we got a whole lot more basketball coming up this week. Just a notable matchup that I want to keep my eyes on for the week coming up, especially for the NBA Cup, is Hawks and the Pacers. So the reason why I want to watch that one is because people really spoke highly of the moves that the Hawks made in the offseason. So far, they look like they having the same kind of problems as the Thunder. Not so much that the spacing is bad, but they play really good defense. They just struggling putting the ball in the basket, which is weird considering they got Trey Young, over there who's a master offensive initiator. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and watch the Hawks yet, so excited to watch them definitely lock in and play this Pacers team. Is there any game that's coming up this week that you for sure know you want to lock in on?
I want to see the Bucks and the Knicks. I want to see that game, and the reason why I chose that game is because the whole offseason has been getting Greek help, right? So, and he's gonna want out if they don't do that. And their idea that was going to get Miles Turner. So now you're going up against a contender. So I'm curious to see how the Bucks would look against the contender, like the Knicks, because they're picked to, go to the East Conference Finals. And I want to see how competitive the Bucks can actually be because I think games like that will determine the future for Greek, and that will kind of shake the league up if he ends up do want to leave and depending on where he lands. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that game.
Okay, cool. You got a favorite to come out of that game? Who you think gonna
I
come
think
out
the
of that one?
Knicks. I think the Knicks will end up winning. Think I don't think the Bucks have the firepower as far as the guards are concerned to kind of keep up with the Knicks.
Okay, cool. I think for me personally, I think the Pacers come out of this Pacers Hawks matchup. I was very wrong about my opening night matchup, so we ain't even gonna talk about that. You went 2 for 2 for your opening night matchups. But I think the Pacers come out of this Pacers Hawks game. I think the Pacers are gonna play with pace. I think that they have a lot of pieces on their roster that can really fill it up. And like I say, I think the Hawks kind of struggling right now. Putting the ball in the basket. This will be the Pacers' first Eastern Conference matchup so far this season too. So curious to see what that looks like. No, like I say, man, we'll go ahead and close out the show. Before we let y'all go, I just want to say, happy Monday to everybody. Hope you guys have a outstanding and productive week. Stay safe. Make sure y'all practice those successful habits every single day. If you can get better, if you can get 1% better every single day, you're doing a great job. What you got to say to the people before we let them go, Coach?
Man, continue to grow, continue to get better, continue to, chase that better version of yourself. This week is already over, man. Time is flying on by. Before you know it, it'll be December. It'll be the end of the year. We'll be walking into 2026. So I'm grateful to be here. Just continue to get better. As far as myself, just continue to grow, continue to chase that growth mindset, and don't never lose that mindset, lose that focus. And yeah, so have a great week. And before we go, make sure you subscribe and like. That's the first thing. And second thing, podcast pack thought he was gonna get away, but Wednesday we have two prime time games and we need picks. So we got the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we have on ESPN, we have the Lakers and the Timberwolves. All right. 0-2,
Okay.
you got a chance to redeem yourself. So who you got? Celtics, Cavaliers.
I bet. So definitely give me the Cavs. Celtics struggling bad right now. They don't have an identity right now. They're trying to figure it out. So give me the Cavs because they look more or less the same as they did last season. They added Lonzo, who's a assist machine to get his guys involved. So give me the Cavs coming out of that one. I mean, the other matchup was who you say the other matchup was?
Lakers and Timberwolves.
The Lakers and Timberwolves. So ooh, that's a tough one. No Luca, give me the Timberwolves. I think this was made for me to redeem myself. No Luca, give me the Timberwolves. Ant-Man gonna do his thing. Unless Austin Reeves just so happened to go crazy, give me the Timberwolves.
All right, man.
What about you? Give me your picks.
Cleveland versus Boston. Give me Boston. I'm rolling with Boston. They're gonna get their. Let me see. Do they play before that? Nope. They get their first win Wednesday. This is gonna be the turnaround. Jaylen Brown woke up today. This is the Jaylen Brown we need. He's gonna bring them firepower. No Darius Garland. I think they're gonna do a decent job on Mitchell. I think they'll be able to contain him. I think they'll get hurt on the inside a little bit, but all in all, I think threes are gonna be falling. I think they'll be ready to go Wednesday. They get their first win Wednesday. Give me Boston. In the second game, no Luca. Give me the Timberwolves. Ant-Man was hurt today, actually. He left the game early due to hamstring tightness. So whether he plays or not, I think I'm going to still roll Timberwolves. I think Julius Randle will be able to kind of will them to victory, even though they just lost. I think they'll kind of have revenge on their mind. So give me Boston Celtics and give me the Timberwolves on Wednesday.
All right, that's a bet, man. We'll circle back. We'll see y'all next week. To make sure that, hopefully I can cover my two this time around. A redemption on my mind, so we'll see. But last but not least, before we let y'all go, man, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you get alerted every single time we drop a video. And on behalf of the Successful Habits Cast, yeah.
We out.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.